Hi, I'm Laura Templeton, Chief Instigator and Brand Communications Consultant at 30 Second Success. I'm a professional speaker, the author of a book called 30 Second Success, Ditch the Pitch and Start Connecting, and a chapter president for Virtual Networkers, which is an organization of heart-centered entrepreneurial women who love to support one another in life and in business.
And I'm Suzanne Tregenza Moore, business and marketing coach at SuzanneTMoore.com, host of the All Things Authorpreneur podcast, author of Hang On Tight, Learn to Love the Roller Coaster of Entrepreneurship, and longtime member of Virtual Networkers. And Laura and I met through Virtual Networkers, and since we've been members, we've seen a lot of our colleagues, and we have become authors. And we recently saw a book giveaway done by some others, and we thought, you know what? This is something we should do for our Virtual Networkers sisters. So we're giving away a bunch of book bundles in two categories. One is self-help or personal growth, and the other is business entrepreneurship. To be eligible to win a bundle, all you have to do is head to decemberbonanza.com and enter your information. And just do that before the end of the day on December 12th. And everyone who enters will be eligible for free gifts that each author will be sharing about. It's a win-win for everyone. So now you get to meet one of our authors.
Yes, and thank you so much. It is my pleasure to introduce Cheri Andrews, who is an attorney, and this is her book, Smooth Sailing, A Practical Guide to Legally Protecting Your Business. So that's the cover of her book. I love this with the sailboat, Cheri, and I'm definitely going to ask you a question about that one. So I'm going to read your bio real quick, and then we're going to jump in and talk a little bit more about your book. Cheri D. Andrews Esquire is the founder and managing partner of her law practice, which helps small business owners and solopreneurs avoid costly legal mistakes and gain the confidence of knowing that their livelihood is legally protected. When she is not working, Cheri enjoys digital scrapbooking, mixed media art, and reading and traveling. Cheri lives in Perkasie, Pennsylvania with her husband Jay and is the proud mom of 3 successful young adult daughters. Smooth Sailing, A Practical Guide to Legally Protecting Your Business is her first book. For more information, you can visit Cheri at cheriandrews.com. Cheri, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. This is fun. Let's get going.
Yeah, awesome. So let's jump right in. And I would like to know who your book is written for, Cheri, and I'm sure everyone listening would too.
My book is written for any small business owner, but primarily heart-centered, service-based solopreneurs, creatives, authors, and women. Let's just face it, women. That's who it's written for.
Love that. I love that you know who your ideal client is and who your book is written for. So tell us a little bit more about your book.
So it's really intended as a desk reference. You can purchase it and read it cover to cover, and that's a really good foundation for someone starting out in a business, to make sure that they understand the legal aspects of running a business. It's also a great refresher for somebody who's been running a business for a while and wants to make sure they didn't miss anything legally in setting up their foundation. But once you've read through it and you have that information, it's nice to just have it sitting there on your bookshelf. So as you're going through your day-to-day business, if you're like, oh, somebody just gave me this contract and here's this disclaimer clause in it, and I have no idea what this means, I don't know what I'm reading, you can open up the book to the contracts chapter and look up disclaimer, and I explain what a disclaimer clause is and what its purpose is in a contract. So as you're going through your business, whatever comes up, there's probably at least a mention somewhere in the book of what the importance is in your business.
It's so awesome and so helpful. I know I reference it all the time. Tell me this, Cheri, what was the inspiration for you to actually write the book?
The inspiration was my frustration with the limitations of my license. So when I first started my own law practice, I was licensed only in Pennsylvania. I've since gained a license in Maryland as well. But for areas of law that are governed by state law, which is going to be business formation and contracts for most things. I'm limited to those two states in terms of who I can provide services to on a one-to-one basis. But I was networking across the country with women like the virtual networkers and being asked for help by a lot of small business owners who needed my services, but I had to say, I'm sorry, you're in Florida. I'm sorry, you're in Massachusetts. I can't help you. And I got really frustrated with that because I know this is critical information. It's things that small business owners need to know. And I wanted everyone to have access to that information and in a way that was affordable and accessible. So I wrote the book with that in mind, making that information available to all solopreneurs and small business owners, you know, so that at least they have the foundation, and then they can determine if they're in a place where they need an attorney and they can find someone in their state.
Beautiful. And I love that you are thinking more about, everyone out there, not just the people in your home state, because yes, you're absolutely right. It can be limiting when you're only licensed in one area. And I love that you also use your book as a great way to get, to have a broader reach. So talk a little bit about how your book has helped you to get more visibility for the work that you're doing and the help that you're trying to provide to your readers.
So the book is an interesting kind of door opener, shall we say? Because I've written a book, I've been invited on a lot of podcasts. That seems to be one thing that for podcast hosts, they're looking to tap into that information. The book adds the credibility that, well, you must know something. You wrote a book. And I do know something. I mean, it's not my first rodeo. I've been in business for a long time, but the book just is that entryway into getting those speaking engagements. So it's podcasts, it's different networking groups, it's actually conferences for entrepreneurs. I've spoken at a couple of those. And so it broadens my reach by making me accessible to a lot of audiences I would not have known about or been able to get in front of without the book.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. I know that your free gift for our event is all about locking down your brand. Can you share a little bit about what people can expect when they go and download it once they've participated in the giveaway?
Right. So locking down the legal rights to your brand is all about trademark and the importance of trademark to protect your brand and to make sure that nobody's infringing you, you're not infringing anybody else. The free gift itself actually busts some very common myths that people have and misunderstandings around trademark, and then answers some of the most frequently asked questions about trademark.
That's awesome. I love the fact that you're helping people protect their businesses, Cheri, and trademark is so important. And a lot of people are not aware of the ramifications if you haven't protected yourself. So thank you for putting that information out there and sharing that with our participants. So thank you.
Yep, my
So
pleasure.
one last question. How did virtual networkers help you get your book out into the world?
My book wouldn't be here if it weren't for virtual networkers. Not only were virtual networkers the impetus behind writing the book, that's where I started my journey of networking with people outside of my own state. But my publisher's a virtual networker. My marketing guru, Suzanne, is a virtual networker. It takes a village to do any of these things, and most of my advanced readers and blurbers were virtual networkers. So all of those people were the ones that were my launch partners and helped me on launch day get the word spread far and wide on social media, got me to bestseller on Amazon. I owe the success of the book to virtual networkers and to all my sisters in virtual networkers.
Well,
That
thank
is a
you so
ringing
much.
endorsement. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Um, well, sorry. Laura, you usually say thank you to the author, but I'm just going to jump right in there and
Right
say
ahead.
thank you. Thank you, Cheri, for participating in the giveaway, for sharing your books and sharing your knowledge here. And I want to remind everyone that if they want the opportunity to win Cheri's book and several others, they've got to enter the Bonanza at DecemberBonanza.com before the end of the day on December 12th.
And let me tell you, that business book bundle is phenomenal. It's not just my book, it's the other 4 books in the bundle. Whether you're just starting or you've been in business for a while, every one of those books is helpful. Every one of those books will give you nuggets that will help you grow and up level. And it's definitely worth the time to enter.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Cheri. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure.